Hey everybody, it's Mr. Howard here, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about this guy, the Swivl. Wow, look at this. Isn't that amazing? Let's talk about what we got here. So first of all, when you open the case, you're going to see the Swivl robot base. This is what you're going to put your device into to do your recording for you. In here you also have markers. So you have a couple of different kinds of markers. The first is your primary or your key marker. That's going to be the thing that the swivel follows around. So you'll know that the key, it's just black, there's nothing else on it. This is what the camera will follow. You also have two other markers in here. You have one that's marked R and one that's marked B. Those don't mean anything other than the colors as far as I know. And what these markers do is they record the audio. So the primary marker also records audio. This is going to record what you say, but these two are going to record environment audio. So if you're recording a lesson and you need to make sure you get all the student conversation and stuff like that, you can turn these on, put them in different parts of the room, and these can wirelessly pick up audio while you're recording. Okay. The other thing that you're going to need to record lessons with your swivel is this guy right here, your iPad. So the way that this works is you take your swivel, you stick the iPad into the shim. You will need to change out that shim. The default one doesn't work. You have to get one that's a little wider for the iPad case. And once you have your iPad and your swivel, you can get ready to set up to record lessons, and that's what we will do next. So if you want to record a video with your swivel, the first thing that you'll want to do is actually turn the swivel on. So this button right here, hold that power button down. It will eventually turn red and move around a little bit. That way you know it's good to go. The next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to attach your iPad to the swivel. So first you'll take the lightning connector on your iPad there and just pop that into the lightning port on the bottom. And then on the back of your swivel, you're going to attach the other end. There's a little molding on there. You can see how it fits in. On both of these connections, you will want to put that in there and make sure it gets kind of a little click so you're sure that it has a good connection. You'll also see, as the first time you put it in, you'll get a little alert that says Swivl would like to communicate. Just click allow on that. Now, your swivel is connected to the iPad, and you can get ready to record some lessons. Now that we're ready to record our lessons, let's go ahead and get started. Let's open up the Swivl app on the iPad, and that's going to take you to the login page. So you should have been provided a login that will work on your iPad. Go ahead and click Sign In with Google and put that information in. So you see that once you log into the app, you'll go immediately to the capture menu. So once you have this set up and you're ready to record, you can immediately get going with that. I'm actually going to back up out of here for a second so I can talk to you about the dashboard. So when you log in, you can immediately start to capture. You can work in the library, which means all the lessons that you've recorded before will save there. And you also have the settings if you want to change the way it records video, the way the swivel moves, the way it records audio, stuff like that. I personally wouldn't recommend even messing with that. It's already set up as soon as you get it out of the box. So unless there's something specific that's going wrong that you need to address, I would leave that alone. The next thing that you will need to have once you're ready to start recording is you will need to actually start setting up your markers, and that's the next thing that we're going to do. So I'm going to go back into Capture, and you'll see at the top it says swivel marker is not connected. So we will want to actually connect those. And I want to go to the monitor. So up in the upper right-hand corner, there's a marker monitor tab. You open that up, and this is where you can kind of see how your markers are doing. So I don't want to turn on my primary key marker just yet because the swivel will start moving all over the place and it's kind of disorienting. So I'm going to leave that right here. And I want to show you on the audio markers. So I'm going to hit the little power button on this, and you'll see that light turn on and then start to flash. And now you'll see on the screen here that pops up that it's turned on. We can do the same thing with the red marker. Turn that one on, and it will pop up on here ready to go too. So once you have those set up, you can just put these in other random places in the room wherever you feel like there's going to be places for you to record audio and stuff, and you'll be good to go there. Now that your audio markers are set up, you're ready to actually turn on your primary marker. So I'm going to do that now. But before I do that, I'm going to slide it into the lanyard. So your swivel comes with a little lanyard, and you're going to put your marker in there. And on this lanyard, you want to make sure that your microphone is facing up, so when you put it on, it will catch the audio and the things that you say. Once your marker is attached to your lanyard, you can also just clip this on your shirt, but that's a weak clip. I would just wear the lanyard. You can adjust it in the back to make sure it's comfortable, and it will suit you and be fashionable to the degree that you are accustomed. So now we're ready to record. So I'm actually going to come over here in a second. I want to turn this on first. So my primary marker here, I'm going to hold that button down. Now that'll flash for a second, and you'll see the swivel will start to move momentarily. There it goes, moving around a little bit. So I'm going to click off the marker monitor, and I'm going to cruise over here. So you can kind of see this thing start to follow me around. So one thing to remember with the swivel is that it does not record as soon as your marker starts moving. So here it finally caught up with me. Now I can move around a little bit. I can come around in my classroom, do my thing. But like I was saying, it doesn't start recording immediately. So what you have to be aware of is the recording won't begin until you hit the record button on your marker. All right. So you're all set up. You have your marker ready to go. Now I need to hit the record button on my marker. So I'm going to do that now. Boom, record. And you'll see on the iPad, now the record tab at the top, it's flashing red. I have a little red square over to the right side, or to the right side there. So everything that's happening as we recorded, the audio is being recorded, everything's good to go. My lesson's going on as normal. I'm coming over here. Now I'm going to come over here. Stand and deliver every day in my classroom. Boom, boom, boom. Everything's good to go. Now, when your lesson's done, you are going to hit that record button again, and it will immediately take you to the video dashboard here where you can edit the details about the video that you just recorded. What you'll also probably want to do here is you will want to turn off the marker so the swivel will stop moving around so much. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to turn off my lanyard marker and take that off. And now I'm ready to finish off my video. So you'll see that as soon as you're done recording, you'll get a little editing box up here for your video. It's good to have a naming convention for this so you know how to find what you're looking for. I'll just type maybe the name of the teacher in there and what you were doing, maybe lesson, maybe like what they teach. And then down in the description, you might put like the date or something so you remember if you need to go back and find this or whatever, you know where that needs to, how to find that later on. Next, after you edit the details, you can click preview and trim, and this will let you kind of trim down the parts of the video. I'm going to pause that. This will let you trim down the beginning and end of the video. Maybe if you goofed up, you recorded too much, you forgot to hit stop, for whatever reason, you can trim off the ends. Once you have it looking the way you want, hit the check mark at the top. Now that's all set, ready to go. Got the name ready like I like it. I'm going to push done up at the top, and now my video is saved. So I'm going to close out of the capture menu, and when I go back to the library, you'll see that I have all of my lessons that I've recorded in there ready to go, and now it is uploaded to the cloud and it has been removed from my device. And it does that the first time you record it might ask you to do that, but now you don't have to worry about it taking up space on your iPad, and you can go on your computer, log into your Swivl account using the same credentials that have been provided, and you can get all your lessons on there. You can share them from there, all that kind of stuff. Once you have the lessons on here, you can click on them to share them and edit them directly from the app. But remember, you can also do that on your desktop with the credentials if you log in that way too. So while we're wrapping up, probably a few other things that would be good to know. First of all, this device is wireless, meaning the swivel itself can be used without having to have it plugged in. But one thing to consider is it needs to be charged up. So just after you use it, it might be a good idea to plug it in to make sure it has a charge for the next time it needs to go. The markers also must be charged, so these will run out as well. So especially like your primary marker, you'll want to always make sure that's ready to go. So whenever you have the device, whenever you have the swivel plugged in, if you pop the marker into this little slot on the back side of it, that will charge as well. So you can charge both at the same time. Just, it's a good habit to get into because you wouldn't want the marker to be dead. If the key marker is dead, the swivel won't track, and it defeats the whole purpose of using the swivel. Also, just make sure you turn this thing off. I know it seems silly, but you got to hold this button down. This thing will run out of battery if you don't turn it off when you're finished, so it's always a good idea. Just make sure you get that button turned off before you put it up for the day. So something else you'll be receiving with your swivel robot is a tripod base that will actually hold the robot while it records. So it's a good idea to set this up somewhere in your room before you start. I mean, you can set the robot up on a desk or on a table in the back of the room, but if you want to get the best angle or the best shot, Swivl recommends that you use the tripod. And so it's designed to work very easily, just like any tripod you probably used before. You just extend the legs, set this thing up somewhere in your classroom where it'll be handy. Then you'll pull the tripod part up here. This will actually hold the robot. Get that on there. Use this nut, tighten it so that doesn't slide back in there. Set it down. It's pretty sturdy, so I don't think you need to worry about it knocking over. Of course, you won't want anybody to be bumping into this thing. And since once the swivel is charged up and you have your markers and everything charged up, this is a wireless device. So you will simply take your swivel robot, and this part can be a little bit tricky, so you might want to practice this a few times before the first time you do it. You will simply screw your robot onto this base. And like I said, if this isn't a step that you're wanting to take, don't. You can just set this on a desktop or a table if you want. You want to hold that base nice and tight while you're screwing that in. And then you'll have your swivel set up on your tripod there, ready to go. Wow, guys, you're an expert on the swivel now. That's about everything there is to it. Now you're ready to start recording those lessons and doing those baller observations just like you love to do all the time. Of course, if you have any questions, just reach out, let me know. I'd be happy to come by and help you out with anything you might need. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you later.